Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about some magnetic bit drivers. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite ones and which ones I guess would be better suited for certain applications and which ones maybe would be more suited for homeowner or professional grade applications. But let's check out some of the ones that you can actually find on the shelf right now in 2024. So I do got my impact driver here so we can actually fit these and see how they actually fit in a average, I guess you could say, EDC. Most people have the DCF 845, so that one's a pretty common driver. So let's check out some of these bits. We got DeWalt, we got Milwaukee, Craftsman, I got Bosch, we got another DeWalt style, two different styles, Makita, we got Bosch again, and then I have some different other style bits over here that we can check out as well, that see if they integrate with these bit magnetic holders, if you would. So let's check out some of the, let's check out the Bosch one. This is normally this is probably how you start out with getting these little tiny ones with the magnetic holder like this, which you just seat inside your driver and you're good to go. Then eventually when you start putting in fasteners, I guess if you're doing like rapid fastener applications, some of these other ones would probably be a little bit more suited than something like this, which would be basically your more standard application, homeowner application, where you could just swap out tips pretty easily. But if you're doing a professional grade application with something like this, you're going to notice the bit tip. The Bosch is pretty decent, but you're going to notice the bit tip is going to be pulled out or stuck inside your screw when you're done with it. So that's going to be something that you're not going to want. If you're a professional putting in and you're trying to basically save yourself time by putting them in as fast as possible, you don't want to have to keep pulling your bit out of your screw. So like I said, homeowner application for that specific little guy right there. The DeWalt ones, this one right here straight out the gate is going to be my favorite. It's an all metal one, and the magnet right here, the neodymium magnet, is right here on the lip, which I'll show you in a second how it works. Here's another application of it. This is a plastic one. As you can see, it's very similar to the Craftsman. They're both very similar because they're owned by the same company. Stanley Black & Decker actually owns DeWalt and Craftsman too. So that's why you can see that they're very similar technology right there. They're just different colors. Got ketchup and mustard. I'll just put that there for now. But like a Milwaukee one, this is a nice professional grade one. And like I said, we'll go through each one of these, but you can see different types. This one has like a rubber, which seems more universal to be able to apply to different types of bits, because like I said, it's going to have like the silicone sleeve. The neodymium magnets are inside these two holes. Now we'll revisit where the placement of the magnets are here in a second. You can see them back here as well. You want to do the holes out that way so you don't have to worry about pulling the magnets actually through the silicone sleeve. So keep that in mind when you use these, when you put them in, orient them properly, because that's how it's going to basically be when you're using them. So let's check out the Makita. We got two different style bits. We got this gold bit right here, which has the Makita on it, which actually fits pretty good. And then here is the other Makita bit, which has the T25 Torx, which fits fairly well too. It kind of has a little bit of a loose play, if you would. Let's check out this Bosch one. This was one of the first ones that I did buy. I was assuming the fit would have been something like this, but it ended up looking like this, which is not really what I want, because when you put the bit in like that, you have that, but the fastener falls off. So it's not really what your intended purpose is. So this, I'm not really sure what's going on with this Bosch one. I was wondering if maybe it goes, instead of these slim bits, maybe it goes with something like, I don't know, something like that. So it fits a little bit better on that, but I still kind of don't like how it's kind of floating. Kind of floats a little bit. And as I said, we'll check out some of these other bits that we have in here. Like, let's check out the Craftsman. So this one does have one of those fatter, there we go, push it that way, one of those fatter style ones. So let's check that out. There we go. And as you can see in the DeWalt drill, it actually fits really well and snug, if you would. So you can see it locking in there nice and snug. No play, it's not floating. You can see if I just push my finger on it, it actually pushes the entire bit back. So you can see it like actually locked into the bit. So part of it too, I think, is using the brand that goes with the bit tip. And again, here we go, there's DeWalt, which will lock in right here as well. As you can see, you can push it in once it's locked in, and it's got a nice fit. Again, same parts as a Craftsman, just a little bit of a different fit. And me personally, I don't tend to use these fatter ones, and these, hey, let's pull this off. These fatter ones are usually the only ones that I'll see that'll fit in these. Most of these thinner ones, the thin framed ones, like, I mean, it doesn't even go on there. What I'm going to show you here in a second, let's check out this. So the Milwaukee has a thin frame too, and there are different brands will be different size little areas right there, but right here, as you can see, it slips right on. The Milwaukee fits perfect. Nice, right? Get that popped out. Here's the Bosch. Look at that, it fits on the Bosch. Look at that, like almost like a universal application, if you would. Let's check out the DeWalt. Look at that, a little bit loose on there because it's got a little bit of play right there, which I'm not too fond of, but still a better fit than the Bosch and the DeWalt, which was like basically a fireman's pole, just sliding up and down it. So let's check out the Makita. I want to check out one of these Makitas. Let's check out the Torx. Stop it with the different shaft there. Actually fits really well on that one as well. So, and again, this is a Phillips with a torque bit, but you can see the power of the magnet. It doesn't really matter if the fastener's actually seated in there or not. The magnet actually goes to the tip and it actually keeps it stuck there. So pretty cool. Like I said, Torx with a Phillips. Let's check out one more. I kind of wanted to see the fatter ones, like the what are these called? The Terminator bits. So let's see that. Let's check out the Terminator. So Terminator is gonna stretch out your Makita, and then this isn't gonna probably sit right on these thin frame ones after you keep using them on those Terminator bits. I mean, I'm almost positive on that. But let's check out, besides this Milwaukee, which is probably one of the better ones if you're looking for a professional application, I would say that one would probably be number 2. Let's check out these Makita ones real quick before we check out the last one, the DeWalt. So the Makita ones, man, I would say these are like homeowner grade. And most of these ones in here, like I said, are going to be bit specific. So these plastic ones with the thicker bits, I don't use thicker bits for the most part. I don't use these, the Wias, I don't use those. I got, like, you know, the Diablos, they're all thin framed impact bits. So just put that over there. These larger ones are only going to fit these. So when it comes to these bits and the magnetic holders, I'm not really fond of the ones that are applicational specific. I like these more universal fits, like this Milwaukee and the DeWalt, which I'll show you here in a second. I think those are probably the better end ones. I mean, I tend to use more DeWalt bits. Anyway, the Bosch bits are really good. I mean, any of these brand bits are pretty decent. But anyway, let's check out the Makita. So this is something I ran into an issue with, where this cap right here, I'll show you. This cap came off when I was putting in drywall screws, and the cap came off and the magnets flew out and they were like stuck to each other, and I didn't know the exact polarity. I had to figure out the polarity of how the manufacturer had it set so that it could slide over again, just like the way it was intended. But once this broke off and these little tabs in here, it just didn't really work properly. And this is a professional grade brand, but not professional grade performance from them, because again, something like this, where they thought about like maybe the magnets getting pulled out of the silicone sleeve, they already like thought about that stuff. Makita, I guess, didn't think about that, because like I said, this is a brand new one. You can just pull that off and you can just see the magnets in there. So one over push on it with a screw, you're going to end up basically breaking that apart, and it's going to just be a hassle. So let's check out the last one I wanted to talk about today, which is going to be the DeWalt. This one is, like I said, my favorite one. As you can see, this is the daily driver, if you would, the EDC magnetic tip for me. As you can see, when you put that Phillips on there, check this out. It'll actually pull it forward and actually seat to the screw. Look at that. So it holds it in place. No play on that. There's a little bit of wiggle, but it's not. It's the actual bit itself. But yeah, I mean, little wiggle, little waggle, just like everything else in regards to having a 2-inch screw on the end of this tip with all the torque. But this holds it, I feel, the best. And I like the fact that it seats. Look at that. It seats the screw to the actual magnet just like that. So like I said, if I take this out and let's put the, where are we at? Where's the Milwaukee? Here's the Milwaukee. If we put the Milwaukee on, the Milwaukee's there. It's just not, it doesn't seat on the screw. It doesn't actually like push up on the screw. And like I said, it's all basically taste, but for me personally, I like how it seats up on this DeWalt. So if you're looking for a magnetic bit holder, I personally would go with like the DeWalt or the Milwaukee if you're trying to do some kind of professional grade work. Even homeowner grade work would be great with these 2-bit tips. Some of these other ones I don't know. Even this one's DeWalt. Like I said, it just doesn't, and this is a DeWalt bit, like it just doesn't, it's like hot dog down a hallway type of situation. I mean, either way you put it, it's still going to be loose. Same thing with this Bosch bit. Like I said, the Makita's fell apart. The Craftsman's the same as the DeWalt. And like I said, this is like the most common type of magnetic bit holder that you get. But like I said, if you use this in repetition, you're going to end up pulling your bit out of the holder and it's going to be stuck in your screw. So getting something like this Milwaukee or this DeWalt, like I said, DeWalt is probably my favorite one because it's metal. It's going to take a little more abuse. The silicone will get busted up, I'm sure, over time. Maybe those magnets will come out. But for now, I think I'm just going to stick with this all metal unit right here with the neodymium magnets. But have this as a secondary because I think the technology of this one was a little bit more thought out than like the Makita, for example, who's supposed to be a professional grade company, but falls apart on use. So the DeWalt and the Milwaukee, pick whichever one you like. But why don't you let me know down in the comments below what magnetic bit holders you use to make your jobs and work more simplified.